Elisabeth Amalie Eugénie, known as Sisi, Empress of Austria and Queen of Hungary, remains one of the most captivating figures of the 19th century. Born into the Bavarian Wittelsbach family, she became empress through her marriage to Emperor Franz Joseph I at the age of 16. Renowned for her legendary beauty, Sisi maintained her appearance through a harsh diet and rigorous routines for her hair and body. She played a significant political role in establishing the Austro-Hungarian Empire in 1867, yet her life was marked by contradictions between personal freedom and royal duties. This report explores Sisi's life, focusing on her obsession with beauty, her strict self-care regimens, her political influence, personal tragedies, and lasting cultural legacy. Early life and marriage. A constrained beginning. Elisabeth was born on December 24, 1837, in Munich, within the royal Wittelsbach family. Raised in a relatively informal environment, she enjoyed horseback riding, nature, and a life free from rigid royal protocols. This freedom shaped her spirited and rebellious personality, but it clashed with the reality she faced upon marrying Franz Joseph I in 1854 at 16. Unprepared for the formalities of the Habsburg court in Vienna, she encountered strict protocols and inflexible interference, from her mother-in-law, Archduchess Sophie, who controlled her life and even the upbringing of her children. Elisabeth bore 4 children: Sophie, who died in infancy, Gisela, Rudolph, and Marie Valerie. The death of her daughter Sophie at age 2 in 1857 was a profound shock, deepening her sense of isolation. Feeling stifled in Vienna, she began visiting Hungary, where she found a more accepting environment. These visits laid the foundation for her deep connection with the Hungarian people, influencing her later political role. Obsession with beauty. Starvation for perfection. Elisabeth was celebrated for her striking beauty, a result of exhaustive efforts to maintain her appearance. She was obsessed with preserving her slender figure, keeping her weight below 47 kilograms despite her 172 centimeters height. She followed a punishing diet, often limited to milk, orange juice, or meat water, a light broth. On some days, she consumed minimal food, a practice now recognized as indicative of an eating disorder. This diet aimed to maintain her famous waistline, which never exceeded 50 centimeters, enhanced by tightly laced corsets. Elisabeth avoided heavy makeup and strong perfumes, preferring to highlight her natural beauty. She used natural skincare products, such as face masks made from strawberries or olive oil, and experimented with concoctions prepared by the court pharmacy. Fearful of aging, she avoided photography after her 30s, often concealing her face with a parasol or fan. Her obsession with beauty was a means of self-expression in a world where she felt confined, but it also became a source of psychological and physical strain. Hair care. Sisi's true crown. Elisabeth's ankle-length hair was a hallmark of her beauty. She devoted meticulous care to it, with combing and styling taking 2 hours daily. She used special concoctions like eggs, cognac, and honey to nourish and add shine. Her hair was so heavy it caused headaches, and she adorned it with diamond and pearl-encrusted hair stars, crafted by jeweler A.E. Kochert. Hairdressing was a daily ritual, with Elisabeth seated at a table covered in white cloth, her hair wrapped around her body. She feared losing strands and sometimes ordered her maids to count fallen hairs. Elisabeth gifted some of her hair stars to her ladies-in-waiting, and some were passed down through the family, underscoring the significance of this aspect of her identity. She once remarked that hairdressing kept her mind idle, reflecting her internal conflict between maintaining her beauty and feeling it diminished her intellectually. Physical fitness. A rigorous body regimen. Elisabeth was an avid athlete, engaging in horseback riding, swimming, and daily fitness exercises. Considered the finest equestrian of her era, she also walked long distances, sometimes forcing her maids to follow in a carriage. She installed gymnasiums in her palaces, equipped with rings and weights, an unusual practice for a woman of her time. These activities maintained her figure, but also expressed her desire to break free from court constraints. Her diet allowed rare indulgences, such as violet ice cream from Daimel or Sachertorte from Vienna's Hotel Sacher. These moments were fleeting in a life dominated by strict discipline. Political role. Beloved Queen of Hungary. Despite her focus on beauty, Elisabeth was a significant political figure. Unlike her mother-in-law Sophie, who disdained Hungarians, Elisabeth developed a deep bond with Hungary. She learned the Hungarian language and showed empathy for its people, earning their affection. She played a pivotal role in negotiating the Austro-Hungarian Compromise of 1867, which granted Hungary partial autonomy within the empire. This achievement cemented her status as a beloved queen, and her portraits adorned Hungarian homes into the 20th century. As noted by writer Patrick Lee Fermor, Elisabeth preferred spending time in Hungary over Vienna, where she felt freer. This connection made her a symbol of unity between Austria and Hungary, though she was less interested in daily politics. Personal life. Between sorrow and rebellion, Elisabeth's life was marked by tragedy. The loss of her daughter Sophie, her son Rudolph's suicide in 1889 at Mayerling, and her assassination in 1898 shaped her existence. She suffered from depression and isolation, exacerbated by her mother-in-law's control over her children. Her relationship with Franz Joseph was complex. He adored her, but she felt trapped in a gilded cage. She escaped these pressures through frequent travel, particularly to Greece and Corfu, where she built the Achillean Palace to reflect her love for Greek culture. She wrote poetry, expressing her grief and yearning for freedom, and was influenced by figures like Heinrich Heine. Assassination and tragic end. On September 10, 1898, Elisabeth was assassinated in Geneva by Italian anarchist Luigi Lucchini, who stabbed her with a thin blade. Initially unaware of the injury, she died hours later. Her death shocked Europe, particularly Franz Joseph, who was devastated. She was buried in Vienna's Capuchin Church, becoming a symbol of beauty and tragedy. Elisabeth inspired numerous works, including the iconic Sisi film trilogy starring Romy Schneider and the TV series The Empress, 2022. Her statue in Corfu and the Achillean Palace continue to attract visitors. Her story endures as a symbol of the conflict between beauty and duty, making her a cultural icon. Elisabeth, or Sisi, was a complex figure who blended legendary beauty, rigorous discipline, and a rebellious spirit. Her strict regimens for hair and body care reflected her pursuit of perfection, but also served as an escape from court constraints. Her political role in Hungary solidified her legacy, yet her personal tragedies made her a symbol of the tension between freedom and duty. Sisi remains one of Europe's most enduring historical figures,